Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Sports. And some interesting news with the Springboks confirming that Willie le Roux will travel down to Durban and train with the Boks for the first part of the test week, which kind of maybe gives you a bit of information about what his current role is within the side and the fact that he's not done with the Springboks. But I think it's also a bit of an indication as to where he stands and kind of the fact that we are looking at life kind of beyond Willie le Roux and life after Willie le Roux. And I think what's going to be quite interesting is seeing at the end of the tour whether we might see kind of a bit of a, not like a testimonial game, but a final game for le Roux, whether he might announce his international retirement and get that one last opportunity to sort of pull on the green and gold and play for the Boks. We've also got confirmation of what the week's going to look like for the Springboks itself. So before we get into all of it, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. So I got a press release earlier this afternoon, and we've got, in addition to the Springbok squad, we thought we might actually have a few more, to be honest, because in the original squad announcement, they said that there were potentially 3 players that might join the squad pending the outcome of the medical assessments, which we assume have all taken place. But nobody else has been officially added to the squad. However, they have confirmed this afternoon that Willie le Roux will join the squad on Sunday, and they will train with the team until Wednesday. Basically, the team will have sessions on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is an official off day for the side, and then they have their captain's practice on Friday. And basically, Willie will train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday is their big session. That is usually where they play a bit of almost a mock match type of thing, and that's their sort of key session that they have. After that, he will then fly back to Pretoria, where he will then join the Bulls and is set to be available for the Bulls opening match this weekend in the URC. And they actually even acknowledged the fact that Johan Ackerman has allowed Willie le Roux to go, despite the fact that they're kind of sort of prepping for their first game against Ospreys, which is on Saturday. So if we look at the press release, and this is what Rassie Erasmus had to say. He says, Willie is a member of our wider squad. Now, that in itself is a very important quote, our wider squad. So right now, he's probably not in the core 30-man, well, literally not in the 33-man squad right now. But he said, we feel it will benefit us to have him train with us early in the week. Willie is... We try to train the way we play, and by having him in camp, it will allow us to improve the quality of our training sessions ahead of this vital match. Every point will count in the next 2 games if we want to win the competition, so it's essential that we get the most out of our training time to be as sharp as possible when we take the field. He then says, I would like to thank Johan Ackerman and the Vodacom Bulls for releasing him to train with us, and we wish them and the other South African teams the best of luck for the opening round of the Vodacom URC. Basically, I think that the big reason that he's been brought in is to be a Jean Cruz Malia, for example, or even but basically it's about giving pictures. We'll talk about giving the right pictures, and the fact that what they've done for the last week and a bit is analyzed Argentina, and now what they do in training sessions is they basically try to emulate the way Argentina play, so that you can almost sort of create pictures in front of the likes of a Malibok, for example, or a Satchman Gomezulu or Andre Pollard at 10, looking at how Argentina might look to attack, for example, what they might look to try and do, and how to counteract that, and how to attack them, for example. And I think that is where they brought in Willie le Roux, because he's a player that can probably emulate what we expect to see from Argentina, and be able to prepare the side as best as possible. So I think it's a very good move in that regard. Willie le Roux is destined to go into coaching. I think we kind of all know this. He sees and reads the game phenomenally well. And, there's no doubt that he's sort of coming towards the end of his international career, and maybe from a form perspective just isn't quite there. But his reading of the game and the understanding of the game is second to none. And I think that we very much underappreciate how much of a role he's played in the likes of a Damian Willemsen's career, for example, and the form we've seen from Damian Willemsen in the last few years, and at the World Cup, and the way that he's really kicked on and what Willie le Roux does in training with regards to showing players how to identify space, how to attack that space, how to play on the front foot, and how to sort of move the game along. The understanding of the game is not something you can always teach to a certain degree. You kind of almost have to have that natural understanding and that natural ability to read what's in front of you, and he's one of the best in the world at doing that, which is why he's got so many try assists, and why he's been one of the top try assisters in world rugby in the international scene in the last sort of decade. because of that ability to see space, see opportunities. So I think it's a pretty positive move. But I also think that it also confirms he's no longer in the core group. He is no longer within the top 15 players. The top 15 options for the Springboks. You know, that the fact that Abdul Fassi is out, but he's still not being included, for example. See, they're probably looking at Damon Williams ahead of him, Asash Famigama Zulu ahead of him as well. You know, maybe even a Quan Hornmark start coming in as well. It hasn't been officially added, and interesting news apparently that the Bulls are after him. It's classic. The Lions couldn't possibly ever keep their best player. But I think it is confirmation that we are sort of moving towards the end of Willie le Roux's career, which we kind of knew. And I think the main thing now is, whilst he sort of winds down the international career, is to really focus on what a career he has had. He's been brilliant. I mean, double World Cup winner, British National Lions Series winner, 100 test caps for the Boks. I think he's just the second backline player to do that. So he's had a phenomenal career. We need to really, really celebrate that versus going picking apart recent performances where maybe he wasn't quite at his best. Because he has had a huge role. And I'm very interested to sort of see, I think he'll continue playing for a few years, you know, for the Bulls, and, you know, talks about the fact that Premiership teams are even looking at him, and you might, you know, have yet one more big move in him. But in 4 or 5 years' time, I fully expect to see him in a coaching role, and I think that he will be a very, very good attack coach. I'm not sure if he'll go the head coach route down the road. My gut says maybe not, but I could very much see him as an attack coach, running water, for example. Wouldn't be surprised if he even, you know, they bring him to the Springbok setup eventually in terms of mentoring younger players and kind of teaching them how to identify all that space. And in terms of the week to come, Rassie Erasmus has confirmed that the team will be confirmed on Tuesday. So the announcement is on Tuesday. And so that's what we've got. And what I want to say is that we've got a platform called MyPicks where you can go and predict the side. So I want you to check the link in the comment. The team announcement will be at 3:15 on Tuesday. Sorry, well, actually expected to announce around 3 o'clock. We will be live for the team announcement. We will be live this week, every morning at 9:30. By the way, back to our usual, our new usual spot, really, in the mornings for those morning live shows to chat about what we expect in the team selections. So we'll be live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and as well as Friday. And then also we'll obviously have the certain press conferences. We might not have the Rassie Erasmus team announcer press conference. We will, our mandate will be down by Thursday, for example. So we will have all the Friday content, Saturday content as per usual. But we are working very hard to try and make sure that we've got press conferences to give you on the next few days as well. What do you think the team's going to be? Get your picks in on my picks. Let me know what you think. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for our live show to kickstart the test week. It's a big 2 weeks for the Boks. And then this time in 2 weeks, we'll know whether we are the Rugby Championship champions or not. Do you think we will be? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash like on the video. My name is Steve, and I'll chat to you soon.